Hi, this is the fifth and final of our 2021 midweek Lenten times for reflection and meditation. So, last week I said it hit me that everything I was doing was sort of been like C's, and today we're going to wrap it up with another C. So we started with confession, and that was sort of a recognition that, the good that I would do, I don't do. And also, not just about me, about, all are sinful and unclean and fall short of the glory of God. And starting with that as a kind of way of opening ourselves up to better see, better understand, better be a child of God and a follower of Jesus. From confession, we went to commitment and sort of like where you lead, I will follow. A kind of determination to go and do the things that Christ would have us do, that God would have us do. Sort of a grit your teeth and bear it kind of way. But, commitment itself can fall kind of short. Sometimes, we can just keep ourselves doing it. And after a while, it's like, what's the sense? Why bother? And that, I talked about conviction, that the reason that we do the things, that there is a purpose, that there is a goal in mind. People came to Jesus and didn't like what he had said and started to go away. And he turned to his disciples and said, are you going to leave me too? And Peter's response was, Lord, to whom should we go? You are the words of eternal life, a conviction that these things that Jesus says are true, that they have meaning not just for me, but beyond me. That the things that I say, the things that I do, the way that I act, it's not just about me, it's also a witness, a testimony to what it is that, I'm trying to keep at the very, very center of my being. And from there, once we have that kind of conviction, I do think that there is, a kind of change that starts to happen. I don't see change so much as an individual act of volition. I'm going to be like this, or I'm going to do this. There have been too many times, too many places where true for me and for others. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to be the one who, or this is the way that I'm going to be. And how quickly it seems, we've forgotten that, we are all sinful. We all do fall short of. And also, some of this isn't just about me. There was always, sometimes there's a saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You cannot treat. Okay, we'll try one more time. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Now, I used to go with the idea of, and I still think there's some validity to it. It's like, it's not that an old dog can't learn new tricks. It's the old dog chooses not to. But, I was reading, as I was getting ready for last week's, and I came across this saying. And it had to do with change. And it's sort of what started me thinking about, this week's reflection. Consider how hard it is to change yourself. And you'll understand what little chance you have of trying to change others. And, it really struck me because especially, in these last couple of years, all of the times that, I've heard people say things like, I just don't know how I could have been a friend with that person if they acted like this. How could somebody who does this and this and this really think this? And some of it is, kind of backwards. Because we don't start with, okay, if I know this person and this is the way they are, and this is the kind of things that they do, and this is the kind of ways that they go and show their ability and their desire, to help, to go and make a difference. Maybe if they think this, I ought to look at it a little bit differently. Or maybe if they think this, I need to remember that's not who they are in completion. That's not the total person. To go and look at, and to see things a little bit differently. To see people a little bit differently. And as we start to open up to see, there's some of that, Lord, I believe, help my disbelief. If you had faith as small as a mustard seed, you could, but I can't. And I pray help. And I try, But part of that is to be able to go and see things differently. Maya Angelou reflects at one place where she says, I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better. Change. I'd like to go back to not so much this will of volition that goes and makes it happen. And change is now of becoming aware. I now perceive that. I see things differently. And as I see things differently, I become different. And I have changed. And in all of this, again and again and again, with confession and commitment and conviction, we center it on this Jesus, who from the cross says, Father, forgive. Who said, follow me, and I will give you friends and family beyond any numbers you could conceive. Who said, remember, love one another as I have loved you. And this becomes our witness to the world. One that gives life, one that feeds, one that clothes, one that forgives, one that is rooted in mercy, one that is centered on Christ, the Son of God. And so as we get ready for Holy Week, on Sunday with Palm Sunday, wish you blessings. I hope you will. And I, again, look forward to that time and place when we can get together. Things might not be the way they used to be, but I hope for them to be so much more than they are right now. Take care. God bless.